Now, choosing a golf ball based on your handicap isn't perfect, but it's a really good starting point for what your game actually needs. Because as your game improves and your handicap drops, what you need from your golf ball is going to change. And today I'm going to give you some simple recommendations based on your handicap. So if you're a 20 plus handicapper, your biggest problem isn't spin, it's not control, it's consistency, distance, and keeping the ball in play, and buying affordable golf balls. So the balls I recommend here are all about easy distance, straighter flight, and not punishing you when you lose a few balls. So let's start with the Wilson Duo Soft. This is one of the softest golf balls you can buy, with a compression of around 40. And what that means is that it's really easy to compress. So even if your swing speed isn't that high, you're still going to get good ball speed and good distance. It's a two-piece ball with a large solid core and an iron cover. Now that cover is important because it keeps spin down, which helps the ball fly straighter, and around the greens for me this actually performs better than you'd expect for this type of ball. Now in my swing speed around 95 miles an hour, I found this genuinely long off the tee. I'd definitely recommend this ball as a really good pick for a high handicap golfer. Next up is the Max Fly Straight Fly. Now this is a really interesting one because the performance here isn't just inside the ball, it's actually the aerodynamics on the outside. It's a two-piece construction, so again durable, affordable, easy to hit, and it's got a really cool dimple pattern designed to reduce side spin and curve on your tee shots. So if you struggle with a slice or a hook, this is designed to help straighten it out. And on the inside you can see that it's got a really simple two-piece makeup with that white inner core, and I love this green colour. I find it really easy to see on the golf course. So a great ball that will help you keep the ball straight, and I definitely think it's a good recommendation for a high handicapper. So next up is the Strixon AD333, and this is where things step up slightly. It's still a two-piece ball, but there's a lot more going on. It's got a compression of around 70, so it's a bit firmer, which means better ball speed if you've got a bit more speed in your swing. Inside you've got Strixon's fast layer core, so it's softer in the centre and firmer on the outside. So you still get a really soft feel, but you get better energy transfer. It's got 338 dimples to keep the ball stable in flight. So overall the Strixon AD333 is a great option for a higher handicap golfer. Now if you swing the club a bit faster as a high handicap golfer, this is where I'd look at something like the TaylorMade Distance Plus. It's still a two-piece ball, so durable and affordable, but it's built for more speed. The compression is around 77, so a bit higher, a bit firmer, and it helps generate more ball speed. It's got 342 dimples, designed for a higher launch and strong carry. And when we cut it open, you see that React Speed core inside. That's all about energy return, so when you strike it, you're getting maximum speed off the face. So again, the TaylorMade is a really good option for a high handicap golfer. Now as a wild card, if you're looking for an option that will guarantee you hit straight shots every time, then the Polara is an option. This absolutely works. It's 100% not legal, but it 100% works. So great fun for a casual round where you just want to have a mess around and hit as straight a shot as you possibly can. Not great when you're controlling the ball into the green, but really great off the fairway and off the tee. I'd give it a go for a bit of fun, and I've dropped a link in the description below. However, for more legal options, at this level of handicap, you're not trying to control the golf ball, you're trying to make the game easier. And these golf balls I definitely believe will help you improve your game. Now as we move on, if you're in the 10 to 20 handicap range, then this is where your golf ball starts to matter a lot more than you might think. Because now you're not just trying to survive the round, you want to hit more greens, more fairways, and more decent approach shots. And this is exactly where I see these three balls next, and I think they make a lot of sense. So first up is the Wilson Triad. This is one of the most underrated golf balls in this entire category. It's a three-piece urethane ball with a compression in the low to mid 80s. So softer than a lot of the full tour balls, but still premium enough to give you real control. Now the key bit with the Triad is the way that Wilson position it as a balanced golf ball. The idea that density is distributed more evenly through the ball, which is meant to help it fly more consistently and roll more predictably on the greens. And when we cut this open, you'll see exactly what you'd expect from this type of performance ball. It's got a three-piece construction, urethane cover, and a more refined layering than the basic distance balls we saw in a previous category. And that complexity helps you get an all-round performance, Not crazy spin, not crazy speed, just great balance. Next up is the Strixon Q-Star Tour, and this is one of my favourite golf balls. It's basically Strixon saying to us, what have we made you a ball that gives you a lot of tour ball benefits, but it's easier to use for normal golfers. It's a 3-piece urethane ball with a compression of around 72, so noticeably softer and easier to compress than something like the Z-Star Diamond or a Pro V1X. It still uses the fast layer core from Strixon, which means it's softer in the centre and firmer towards the outside. And that matters because it helps the ball feel softer without making it slow. You've also got the spin skin cover, which is Strixon's way of improving friction between the ball and the grooves. When we look up close, you can see how that spin skin layer really peels away from the outer layer of the core. And that gives you really great grip and control into your greens, and I find this excellent playing my short game. This was one of my favourite golf balls from last year in testing, and I'd definitely recommend it in the 10 to 20 handicap range. Next up, we've got the Mizuno Pro X, and this is probably one of the most feel-driven recommendations in this section. It's a 3-piece urethane ball. The compression sits roughly in that mid-80s to low 90s range, and it's very much aimed at golfers who want a softer feel and more refined feedback. Now technically, what Mizuno are chasing with the Pro X is a softer, more controlled type of performance. This isn't a raw speed ball, it's more about feel of the face. Great for touch shots and better response around the greens. It's got 332 dimples, and Mizuno generally position this ball as the firmer counterpart to the softer Pro S. So if the Wilson Tried is the balanced all-rounder and the Q-Star Tour is the smart bridge to urethane, Mizuno Pro X is for the golfer who values feel the most. And when you look at these three side by side, this is where golf balls start getting interesting, because now you can actually see the extra layers doing more work. These aren't just built to survive impact, they're built to separate driver and iron performance, improve your feel, and give you a bit more control where it matters. That's exactly why I think this handicap range is where your golf ball really starts to become part of your scoring. If you get it right, it can really improve your game. And before we move into the low handicap recommendations, if you're not sure what golf ball you should buy, scan this QR code or click my link in the description below and I'll send you my golf ball buying guide. Now if you're in that 10 handicap and below, then first of all, well done. But this is where we stop talking about easy to hit and we start talking about precision, because by this point you're probably finding the middle of the face more often, controlling strike a bit better, and actually able to notice the difference between golf balls. And these are the three balls I'd be looking at in this category. So let's start with the benchmark, the Titleist Pro V1. Now the reason I've put this in it isn't because it's the most exciting answer. It's because it's the one I trust the most for one very simple reason: consistency. It's a 3-piece urethane ball with a compression of around 90, and it uses Titleist high gradient core technology. Now what it's trying to do is reduce spin off the driver while still keeping enough spin and control through the rest of your bag to help you score. And the dimple pattern is a really big part of why the Pro V1 is so successful. It makes it stable and predictable in flight. And then there's the bit that matters just as much as the specs, the build quality, because one of the biggest reasons Pro V1 keeps its reputation high isn't just performance, it's that from ball to ball the quality control is so good. And that matters at your level, especially when you've got a golfer who's good enough to actually notice inconsistencies. And when we cut it open, you can see in the middle that it's got a clean construction, precise layering, and it looks like a ball that's been made properly. So if I'm recommending a ball to a low handicap golfer who just wants one answer, then I'll recommend the Pro V1 is still the right option. Next up, if you want something a little bit more aggressive, then this is where the Strixon Z-Star Diamond comes in. This is a 3-piece urethane ball with a compression roughly around 100, so it's a firmer, more demanding ball than a Q-Star Tour or Pro V1, but it has a clear identity. It's built for carry, spin, control, and it uses Strixon's fast layer core. So if you're a low handicapper and control is what you care about most, this ball is a serious option. And when we cut it open, you can see how it's made up. This isn't built to be forgiving, it's built to be precise. And I'd 100% recommend this golf ball for a low handicap golfer. And next we've got the Callaway Chrome Tour Triple Diamond. And this is a really interesting counterpoint to the Z-Star Diamond, because where Strixon leans into spin and control, the Triple Diamond leans much more into speed and distance. It's a premium urethane ball with compression in the mid to high 90s. It's clearly designed for golfers who want more penetrating, efficient driver flight. This is one of those balls where my Golf Spies robot data jumps off the page because The triple diamond was one of the longest balls in the entire test. So you know this golf ball is doing something very efficiently off the tee. It's producing speed, lower spin, and a flight that doesn't waste much energy. Now the trade-off is that it isn't the softest or most forgiving feeling ball in this category. It's much more of a performance tool, but that's fine because at your level, a low handicapper, you don't need help hitting the ball. You need help fine-tuning the shape and flight that you want. And when you cut this golf ball open, you can see the 4 layers on the inside. It's got a very thin white urethane outer layer, 2 inner mantles, and that white inner core. That's exactly why I recommend it for certain low handicap golfers. So when we put these 3 golf balls side by side, all of them are premium, all of them are urethane, and all of them are multi-layer. But they're not all trying to do the same thing. And that's what I think low handicap golfers should be looking for. Not just what's the best ball, but what is this ball actually built to do? So what golf ball are you playing right now? And more importantly, is it helping or hindering your game? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.